Ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to thank each of you for coming out today and joining in our celebration. My name is Brad Estes, and I'm the president of Soccer Holdings. And today I come to you in a different capacity because today we take the next step in our evolution in becoming the greatest soccer club in America. And it gives me great pleasure to formally announce that in the spring of 2021, the National Women's Soccer League comes to Louisville, Kentucky. Thank you. Now, I'm a Louisville boy through and through, and believe me when I tell you I love this city. One of the things that I cherish about working for this ownership group is that on a daily basis I get to work with a great team to incrementally improve this community. Whether it's working with our supporters groups to enhance the game day experience, working with local charities to spread the love of soccer throughout our community, or working on this beauty right here that will drive our regional economy. It's all very rewarding. But I gotta tell you, going back as far as I can remember as a kid, I heard grumblings about why Louisville doesn't advance at the same rate as our neighboring cities. It's quite frustrating to me. It seemed as every time we got an opportunity to grow, we would shy away. We accepted less. Well, I'm here to tell you that that trend stopped in 2015 when Wayne Estoppel and this ownership group had the vision to bring pro soccer to Louisville. They knew that if this was going to be successful, that they would have to invest many millions of dollars. But as Thomas Edison once said, vision without execution is hallucination. And this group was committed to advancing the ball in our community. The task would be pretty simple, really, but difficult in practice. You had to play soccer on a baseball field, wrap your head around that, okay? You had to show the proof of concept and ultimately build a soccer-specific stadium to create sustainability for your club. And there were plenty of naysayers in the beginning, but they melted away over time as they saw what this club could become. So flash forward from 2015 to 2017, and I remember it like it was yesterday. It was exactly 2 years ago to this day, a beautiful Sunday afternoon. Two of my colleagues and I sat in my office as we prepared for what would be the greatest night in our club's history, to that point anyway. You see, we'd been working with the mayor's office to put together a master development agreement for this stadium district. That deal was and remains the absolute definition of a win-win scenario where the city leverages private investment to grow the economy. That's what it's all about. And on that Thursday night, our Metro Council was slated to vote on this legislation. And as Thursday leaked into Friday, a night that will live in infamy with our fans because we had to order pizza to City Hall. On that night, this Metro Council saw fit to invest in our city. It saw fit to help this ownership group turn a salvage yard and an abandoned tank farm into this beautiful stadium district. And the rest is history. And I can hear some of you right now, Brad, we're not here to talk about the stadium district. We're here to talk about the National Women's Soccer League. And I get it, I understand that. But as Hack would say, it's not always about the goal, it's about the buildup. And without the investment of our ownership group, the unwavering support of our Metro government, the dedication of our supporters, and the absolute dominance of Louisville City FC, we wouldn't be standing here today. We wouldn't be in this conversation because make no mistake about it, without Lynn Family Stadium, we're not having this conversation. We're not entering the NWSL. So I say to you, Lou City owners, I say to you, front office, all the coaches and players that have come through this organization, to Dr. Mark and Cindy Lynn and their family, to Mayor Fischer, to the members of Metro Council, what I say to you is be very proud of what you've done for this community. Because these things don't happen unless you have the courage to invest in yourself. And I promise you one thing, we will make you proud. To say that we are honored and humbled and excited to join the National Women's Soccer League, the finest soccer league in the world by anyone's definition. To say all those things would be understatements. We can't wait to accept the challenge of building a team of world-class athletes and running them onto that pitch in 2021. And I want to say one other thing. We're not here to participate. We're not here to join the party. Because in this club and in this town, we lift trophies, period. So to Amanda Duffy and all of the NWSL owners around the country, we want to say thank you, and we look forward to joining you in 2021. And now I'd like to welcome back a woman that knows a lot about our city, National Women's Soccer League President, Amanda Duffy.
It's with immense pride that I stand here on behalf of NWSL and the NWSL owners to welcome Louisville into NWSL for the 2021 season. It's hard to imagine the years that have passed, and it was just a few short years ago, a little more than 6, that the Louisville City USL franchise was awarded to this community. And 5 seasons ago that Louisville City FC played its first game just down the road from here. And I recall fondly the energy and excitement that filled each day leading up to that inaugural season opener. And remember that cool day in March where then more than 6,000 fans showed up to support Louisville City on that day. A large crowd then, a quaint crowd by your standards now. And it's a day that Mayor Fischer locked in with the supporters groups and has been side by side with them for that time. And a day that I think for the first time a vibrant soccer community awoke here in Louisville. It was certainly a day many had hoped for, many had worked hard towards, and many more had their first experience with a professional soccer franchise on that day. And I always believed it was a day that when everything this city and this organization dreamed for, it became achievable. So I'm pleased again today to, as Brad has already shared and announced, that our awarding of NWSL to Louisville for the 2021 season. And we stand here today because of the ownership, because of the investment that the ownership has made in this community, in the city, and the players and the fans. And when I look behind me and see the stadium, this state-of-the-art facility and venue that is best in class, best in the soccer community, and that is a continuously growing soccer community. To know where this organization has come from and where it's going, and the investment in facilities such as this and other resources that allow this team and this organization to be successful. That's what allows NWSL to have confidence in this ownership and this organization to bring an NWSL team here with world-class players and the global talent that leads in this sport in women's soccer. So I want to thank John Neese, Mike Mountjoy, Brad ESTES, and all of the Louisville City owners who have continued to invest in your club and your community to make this a success. It has built a winning culture, built on a strong foundation of the commitment and your investment, and it has allowed the club and all those involved to be successful. Mayor Fischer, you stood side by side with this organization since day one, with the ownership, the players, the fans, and the corporate community since day one. You have led the Metro government in supporting the organization and this city to lead this club to new heights, and it continues to reach new heights. I thank you, I thank all of the Metro government leaders and civic leaders who support this organization and have allowed this facility, this stadium, and the other resources and facilities to come into a reality that allow the team to be successful. And to the fans, of course, who I always have considered best in class in professional soccer. You've been a part of this, building this club's culture, and have helped define the club's success. We're excited to bring a new club for you to support and for you to be a part of the story of the premier women's league in the world. I have high expectations of you, very high expectations of you. And I also have every confidence that you will be leaders in NWSL with your drums, your voices, your passion, and your passion for your club in this game. So thank you again for all that you do in this community. Thank you for your support of NWSL, and we're excited to welcome you into our league. Thank you.
At this time, I'd like to introduce Louisville City FC Chairman, Mr. John Neese.
You know, I always get stuck going behind these great speakers who say everything that we could say. So I just want to take a minute. First to the Estopanol family, Teresa and Ashley. It's great to have you here with us today. I like to think that wind blowing through is maybe Wayne's spirit just kind of being here with us. And that gives me a good feeling anyway. But to all the other owners, you know, here, I remember 3 or 4 years ago when I got asked to get more heavily involved, let's say, and we said we wanted to bring a new stadium about, and thanks to everybody's efforts from an ownership group and their wallets, and the city and the state and their wallets, we were able to get this facility almost here, and you know, come next April, we'll be playing in it. The other question that we constantly got asked that we really couldn't answer was when were we going to get Tier 1 soccer to Louisville? Well, I'd like to say we did it. You know, and that's so awesome. I was watching Amanda up here, and I kind of had to chuckle because when I first got more involved in the team, I guess, it wasn't long after that Amanda and I were in Tampa for the winter meetings of the USL, and I got a phone call from a fella wanting to interview Amanda for the women's league position. And I said, "You've got to be kidding me," you know. So he told me what he wanted her to do, and I said, "Well, I think she'd be great at it." So Amanda and I talked, and you know, I said, "I think you should at least talk to him and see." And she said, "Well, what do we do now?" And I said, "Well, now we have a beer," you know. And it's obvious that she's done a great job up there. And Amanda, we thank you for your support here. But when I was watching you speak, I sort of had to chuckle, and I kind of felt like Rocky just for a second, except I wanted to yell, "Yo, Amanda, we did it!" So thank you for your support. I saw some of the Lynn family here today, Mark, and I just want to say to you all as well, we appreciate everything you've done to help us with Lou City. Coach Hackworth and his staff, we were already expanding the trophy case for a month from now. But isn't it exciting to think we're going to get to build a whole new trophy case where we can house these trophies that these ladies win for us in the NWSL. So thank you all for being here, and go City.
this time, I'd like to introduce the real CEO, Mr. Mayor Greg Fischer.
Well, thank you, Brad. And how about this? I mean, could we have imagined just a few short years ago that we would be standing here with this beautiful green field behind us, this stadium that's coming up that's the talk of the country right now, announcing that we're going into the NWSL? I mean, probably people would have looked at us and said, what are you guys talking about? I mean, but this is what happens when good, dedicated people come together and work hard and shoot for the highest honor each and every day, not caring who gets the credit, and just getting things done. So all of the work that's gone into making this happen each and every day, it's phenomenal how quickly this has happened. And I just want to say thank you to everybody. And Amanda, I mean, our city is proud of you, okay? You got the big job now, we know that, but we wouldn't be here without you at the beginning of the journey with the city, and now where you're at now. So I just want to say a big thank you to Amanda Duffy here for bringing this all home. And as Brad said, I mean, the rest of the league is trembling a little bit right now because they know the track record that we've got here with Louisville City, and that's going to be duplicated, if not excelled. We got to put a little challenge out there, Hack to you, to make sure that we're just going to keep this thing going. And I'm so happy for the young girls in our community that they in particular, are going to have a league of professional women out here that they can look up to and say, hey, if they do that, I can do that. It's going to be a source of great inspiration for everybody in our city, but particularly for our girls and young women in our community. And for me to think about how Louisville City is helping us from a civic standpoint with community service, the inspiration that the guys are giving to our youth soccer, to see that amplified with the women's team right now in our community, I mean, that is just a really, really great thing for our city. So I just want to say thank you on behalf of the city, our council members that are here, David James, Barbara Sexton-Smith, Pat Mulvihill, Bill Hollander, and I know the rest of the council would be here because this has been a major team effort to make this happen. The city has played the assist to our fantastic ownership group. I want to thank you all again. And really, this is a milestone day for us today, but there's going to be a lot more milestone days coming as well. So put your seatbelts on, get ready for an NWSL championship as well, and let's keep the great momentum we've got in our city going. Thanks, everybody. Congratulations.
At this time, we'll welcome up President Brad Estes and President Amanda Duffy for a few questions, and then we'll break out into one-on-ones. So welcome both the presidents.
Well, for Brad, will there be joint ticket packages between the two teams?
Yes, we will have some packages like that. We have a lot of work ahead of us, Will, and we have a lot to think through in terms of pricing and things of that nature. But there will be joint ticket packages in the future, yes.
What are immediate next steps?
For us, it's a championship this weekend. For the club and with the club, they obviously will be working on marks and team name and a lot of the fun stuff, hiring staff, looking at the technical side of it, which I'll let Brad talk more about those plans. But we're here to support the club, and this is exciting for us because we're announcing a team more than a year in advance of their actual start in the competition. So we get to support this club in building that team, building their community efforts, and building everything that they need to do to be successful come 2021.
We have a marketing agency, Doe Anderson, that we've been working with. We have some ideas. We plan to solicit some feedback through focus group settings. Like I said, we have some ideas. We want to test them and see how they react.
For Amanda, could you kind of outline
Yeah, NWSL has a relationship with U.S. Soccer, and this year, as everyone I imagine knows, the United States won the Women's World Cup, and all 23 of the players from the U.S. Women's National Team play in NWSL, and also aside from the U.S. Women's National Team, we had 58 players from this year's tournament that also currently play in NWSL. So we have a relationship with U.S. Soccer that is specific to the women's national team players and having them a part of NWSL. But NWSL is home to the global elite women's soccer players, and many of them call NWSL home. So what that means for Louisville City and any new club that is a part of NWSL is they get to be a part of that. And there will be players here that will be also playing in tournaments that are of global stature and nature.
Brad, are there plans to have separate locker rooms and facilities here for the NWSL club? How, if at all, is stadium design changing?
Not too much is changing with the stadium design. We have, I think, 5 locker rooms in this building already. We plan to build a training center where we can have the men's team and the women's team live on a daily basis, but not much is changing on the stadium design front.
So, aside from having obviously Blue City already here, what made Louisville such an attractive spot for the new team?
So for NWSL, when we evaluate expansion opportunities, we do take into consideration the ownership, the investment that the ownership makes into the community, the facilities, the resources. So for this state-of-the-art stadium to be already under construction and ready to play in for the 2020 season was an important piece to the decision-making process that our Board of Governors has made recently. Also with the understanding of acceleration of training facility plans and a front office staff that is dedicated and committed in providing the human resource to excel in their operating of a professional sports organization. And also knowing the fan support, that's an important piece in our decision-making process. And I'm fortunate to have seen and felt firsthand the passion behind the fans that support Louisville City FC, and certainly expect that support will move and translate into support behind an NWSL team as well.
Take 2 more, Kyle. How will recruitment work for the new NWSL team?
That's a great question, and I'm going to hire a general manager that knows all about that, okay? Because I know what I don't know, and I'm glad that we have 18 months until we play. But seriously, though, we will need to hire a completely separate technical staff, obviously, and that starts with a general manager that knows the ins and outs of women's soccer, and I look forward to working with he or she to do that.
Well, I know it's early in the process, but are there any plans to have NWSL kind of exhibition games in the stadium to try to get the city acclimated to the league and style of play?
We haven't talked about that. That's not something that we talked about. We would certainly be open to those types of discussions, but at this point, we haven't talked about having any NWSL games here.